Well, hello. It is Annabel Bateman here from the Let's Talk Thyroid podcast. I would love to take this opportunity to wish you a very Merry Christmas and just to wrap up some of the things that we've done on the show over the last 12 months. So I want to do a bit of a Let's Talk Thyroid recap. I want to give you a couple of tips to get through the next week in the lead up to Christmas, still staying healthy and fresh. And I want to let you know some of the exciting things that are going to be happening in, I guess, the Let's Talk Thyroid space or my world as relates to thyroid health for 2022. So first things first, let's do a bit of a Let's Talk Thyroid podcast recap. So the show started in June 2020. By the end of 2020, we had just under 5,000 downloads, which was incredible. I was so excited. I think we got off to a flying start. I was really thrilled with the guests that I had on the show and just the way I guess people sharing their stories was getting out and helping people. And then over this last 12 months, I stepped it back in terms of releasing a show once a fortnight instead of once a week. And that pace has really worked well for me personally this year. And I think what I really want to try to do is I need to walk my talk as well. I have Hashimoto's. I need to manage my pace and so bringing it back from weekly, which is where it started in the first 6 months, to fortnightly has just really helped me to pace myself. And throughout this year, I've been writing a book, which I'm going to tell you about in a little bit because that is part of my 2022 news. And so, I've released 23 episodes this year. We're almost at 20,000 downloads. I think there's 100 and I don't know, 20 downloads to go to get to 20,000, which I think is incredible. I just love hearing stories when people, I know many of you send me messages or send me emails and let me know that you've discovered the podcast, that you have found it really helpful. Some of you tell me that you just binge listen to it, which I think is fabulous. I love that when I've discovered something new that I love. I like to listen over and over again. And just, I guess the success of that is largely due to all my fabulous guests that I've had on the show this year, both professionals and just people like you sharing your thyroid story. I know that you love both. You love the variety. I know that you love people when they're just sharing their personal stories, because we all want stories, because we can all pick bits that we can relate to or things that might have worked for someone else. We can think maybe might work for us. And I know that you love it when I bring on, the doctors and the naturopaths and the health professionals and the health coaches, because they added a depth and their professional expertise and experience to really bring some of the medical side, or definitely the health side, the medical and the allied health. I'm not qualified in any medical or health aspects. So I really want to make sure that I'm bringing people on who have that knowledge and expertise. So if you have been a guest on this show this year, massive thanks to you. If you've listened to an episode, thank you. If you've shared the show, if you've written a review, now there's not many of you that have written reviews, and I don't really push it very much. But if you would want to give me a Christmas gift, then writing a review would be really helpful, because particularly on Apple Podcasts, they're the place to go to write the review, even if you don't listen on Apple. But if you can write a review on Apple Podcasts, that would be really helpful. It just tells the algorithms that the show is worth, that people are listening and that it's worth listening to. And so then they prioritize it in their algorithms as to where they show it to people who haven't discovered it yet. So if you're happy to leave just a short one-liner review, and preferably 5 stars, that would be super, and a super Christmas gift. Anyway, big thank you. So that is the bit of the wrap up. In terms of Christmas and getting through Christmas, I actually did a Instagram live with Ginny Maha from Hyperthyroid Chef a couple of weeks ago. So go check that out. We talk all things food and managing stress and all of those sorts of things in the lead up to Christmas. So we chatted for about an hour. We both shared lots of different recipe ideas and recipes and lots of just general thyroid-friendly, thyroid-healthy tips. But just reminded me this morning as I was about to have breakfast that I realized I hadn't had my celery juice, which I like to do that I like to do it every morning. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. But it reminded me that with, a bit of extra things creeping into my body that I don't have on a regular basis, like a bit more alcohol and a bit more sugar, and I really want to make that effort to make sure I'm keeping the celery juice up in the morning, because it does help my digestive system. It gives me a bit of energy, helps with hydration first thing in the morning. So I thought, I think I need to remind myself, and if I need reminding, maybe you need reminding too, that some of those good habits that you've developed throughout the year, just keep them going over the next week, whether that's doing a bit of movement, a bit of walking, a bit of extra Pilates or yoga, or lift some more weights, or whatever you do, just even if it's short, it's just keeping that little habit going that can be really helpful when it's easy to throw out all the normal habits because we're in a different mode. We might be on holidays, whatever. So keep that going. The celery juice really helps me. And just trying to stay hydrated. It's really hot and humid here in Brisbane. It is really easy to get dehydrated. So, maybe add a couple of drops of like a citrus essential oil in your water. That helps give you flavor and supports your cleansing processes and energy and feeling good. So that's a bit of an extra bonus tip for staying hydrated. I guess while we're talking essential oils, if you need to use some balance or something nice and calming, maybe peace is a lovely blend as well for this time of year, or forgive, or holiday peace is a nice blend. Any of those calming tree oils too are really good just for keeping feel nice and settled, and smells a bit Christmassy too if you pull out something like your cypress or balsam fir, or something like that. So next, I just want to, what do I want to talk about next? 2022. Can you believe it? 2022, starting in not that long. So what's 2022 going to entail for the Let's Talk Thyroid podcast? Well, I've already got 3 amazing shows already recorded to release to you from January. And that I've got an amazing, person sharing their personal thyroid story. I've got a couple of professional, I've got a doctor who's written a great book on thyroid health, a functional medicine practitioner who, oh my gosh, has so much depth. And, I think we're going to really have to put on our concentrating caps for that one. And I've still got a long list of people I'd like to talk to, topics I'd like to cover. And more stories that I'd like shared on the podcast. So you're going to see more of the same. We're going to delve into some more specific topics. If you've got an idea of something you'd like to see covered on the show, then please send me a message. I'm always open to ideas. And look, if you've got a topic and someone who you think is a professional that can add that knowledge to that topic, even better. I've love discovering different people, different experts, and in the field of thyroid health, and I guess in related areas as well. So keep those ideas coming. I'm going to keep the podcast going once a fortnight. That seems to has been a good pace for me, and hopefully good pace for you. It also, if you haven't listened to every single episode, then in the off week, you can always go back and listen to a previous episode or re-listen to one that you've really loved. I know when I re-listen to things, you just pull out different gems. And when we're in different parts of our thyroid journey, we hear things slightly differently. So always do that. And you might want to do that if you've got a bit of downtime over the next couple of weeks and, until the new year episodes start, then definitely definitely use that opportunity to go back and listen to some of the earlier episodes. You might even want to go back to the beginning and or look at some of the ones from 2020. Now, the most exciting thing that's going to happen in 2022, I'm anticipating, is it most exciting? Certainly going to be exciting for me, is drum roll, please. That's my drum roll. The book that I have been working on all year, which if you are watching on YouTube, you'll see like a mock-up cover. I'm not sure this is completely finished yet. I have been working on this book all year. It's called Kiss and Make Up with Your Thyroid, Your Positive and Practical Approach to Living a Thyroid-Friendly Lifestyle. That's the subtitle. I have finished the manuscript. My goal was to get that all written this year, so it will come. The goal is after January, after I've had enough of a holiday and enough jigsaw puzzles and sitting by the pool, then I will start on the next step of the process, which will be all the typesetting and the layout, creating different images, and putting it all together so that it can be published. So I'm hoping that by the end of, realistically, probably by the end of March, early April, that's when I'm hoping it will be launched. So if you are in Brisbane or Southeast Queensland, keep an ear out for a book launch announcement, for a physical book launch. But I'm really excited to get this information out to everyone. The book is really written for someone who is fairly new in their thyroid journey, and wanting to take that holistic approach, or someone who perhaps has had a thyroid health issue for a long time, but is fairly new to managing it from not just the medication perspective, but the whole, that holistic diet and lifestyle. So I'm not going to give away too much of what's in the book. I don't think any of it will come as a surprise if you've been listening for a while. It's all the diet and lifestyle. It's all about living a thyroid-friendly lifestyle, and it's all the practical things. So I've certainly tried. There's some basic kind of, thyroid physiology and some thyroid basics in there, but there's some fabulous books written by medically qualified people on thyroid health. And so this is more about the practical. How do I actually integrate some of these lifestyle changes into my life? That's what this book is really about. So this is you can probably be looking. Anyway, feels like it's my life, and certainly my life work. It feels like it's my life on pages. So I'm really excited to get that out in 2022. You're going to hear lots more about that and how you can get your copy and when pre-orders are available. It will be available both as an ebook and as a print book. And the goal at this point in time is to print it through Amazon. So you'll be able to get a hard copy wherever you are in the world, not just here in Australia. You'll be able to scribble in it, make notes, highlight, color it in. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to get it out. So that is really my biggest news for 2022. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, if you're wanting to join my Kickstart program, that will kick off in early February. I should have checked the date before I started recording, but early February is usually when we do it. So 30 days to kickstart your thyroid-friendly lifestyle, putting into practice all the things that we talk about in the book, and in particular the diet and in particular the diet and the mindset elements. So maybe throughout the year, I will develop a Kiss and Make Up with Your Thyroid program, really kind of unpacking all of the different aspects that I cover in the book. That is on my agenda, but I haven't done that yet. So the Kickstart Your Thyroid-Friendly Lifestyle program will kick off in February. So stay tuned for that. So I think that's it. I just hope you have a fabulous Christmas and time with your family. I know things are still pretty crazy in the world at the moment. So if you need some hope and you're not sure where to find it, just send me a message. I would love to offer you some hope, both for your health and for your life. If you want me to pray for you, I can pray for you. If you want me to send you a word of encouragement, I'm happy to do that. I just want you to know that there is always hope, and especially around Christmas when, I know things can be all a bit weird and crazy and it's not always happy, but I want to wish you all the best, and I want to thank you for being part of my world. You all of you as part of this Let's Talk Thyroid community, I feel like you're all part of my extended family. So I wish you all the best for the next week or so, and I will touch base with you again via the podcast in probably mid-January. So stay tuned either in the Let's Talk Thyroid community group on Facebook, which is 2 people off hitting 1,000, which is pretty amazing, or follow me on Instagram or Facebook, annabel.bateman.wellness. I'll be posting regular things throughout there over the next couple of weeks anyway, but the next podcast release will be probably mid-January. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Let's Talk Thyroid. I would love it if you enjoyed it, if you would hit subscribe and the bell. That would be really helpful. Even more helpful actually would be to share it with someone else who you know has thyroid issues or you think would benefit from listening. That really is part of my mission, I suppose, is to spread the message of positive and practical approach to managing your thyroid health so that people really kind of have more energy to get on with living their life and not just kind of trudging through each day. So spreading that word really genuinely helps other people feel better, live better, be better. The best way that you can connect with me is through my website, which is annabelbateman.com. From there, really, you'll be able to connect in all the other ways. I would love it if you would join my Facebook community group. There's lots of great support there. It's all free. That's just being with like-minded people. But from the website, you can also book a strategy session with me. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, not too sure where to start, then book a strategy session. There's also freebies to download and links to look at my online courses or purchase some essential oils or my cookbook. So that's really the hub, would be annabelbateman.com. But look forward to connecting with you and just being in this thyroid health journey together. Have a great day. Bye.
The information presented and discussed in this podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease and should not be used as a substitute for proper advice from a qualified professional.